What's up everyone, it's Wild Runs here, and today we're looking at potentially the two best videos in disc golf. Now I know it sounds a little bit clickbaity, and it totally is, but I've just watched Simon and Paul's video, and I was just kind of shocked that they added so many cool elements together in a way that I don't think anyone else really has tackled. I know Ezra's done a little bit of this type of content, but working with another professional disc golfer and figuring out their shot shapes and their lines, it's just one of the most fascinating things. And especially seeing Paul, the most like stereotypical, like in the zone, doesn't really play anything fancy. Then you see Simon that will literally throw away his old tournament chances just to have a really cool line and just to say that he did the coolest thing that he could think of. Like these two extremely polarizing and different views merging together and forcing somebody else to throw that shot. It was just amazing. And then also, of course, Simon has to have an ace run clip with Paul and all of his buddies. Just all these clips were so cool that I thought I had to just talk about them and how much awesomeness there is in these two tiny pieces of content.
Oh, Paul, that is going way long, but you nailed that angle.
And just to see Paul doing a sky roller, you just know that there's no situation in which he would ever do that in like a tournament. Even he wouldn't even practice. But having the master there to help him out makes it all possible and actually potentially like a smart play if you can make it work.
It's a putt. All right, Simon, here we go, smart line. I don't want to go too big because there is a big hyzer, but go, yeah, just a soft little hyzer through that.
Soft little hyzer.
And you want to just go barely around that tree right of the basket because it's about 40 feet past that tree.
Mid-range or fairway?
Mid-range.
Mid-range. Normally I would go like that way.
Yeah, normally I know. But...
And you can just tell everything in Paul's whole strategy is to make sure you limit risks for every single shot. I think this is something that every disc golfer should learn. If you don't need a driver, if you don't need a fairway driver, don't use it. If a mid does the job, then make it work. And I see that so many times in my own play where I'll just throw what feels comfortable, even though it's still way more risky than it needs to be.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Does he like it?
Yeah. We got Simon 2.0
Oh
here.
no, I parked it. I'm quick.
It's just insane to know that Simon can just park something based upon feedback given by another player. Like, that's why this video is so great. There's only maybe Ricky and Calvin, but besides those two people, there's really no one else that can just pull the line out like they just did. Like, that is just such a rare thing that like nobody can do. And the reason why Simon can do it is because he could be the #1 player right now, besides Paul maybe. Like, they have the potential to win tournaments, but especially Simon, he knows that being the cool player is more profitable. And so he kind of broke his elbow and he's still recovering from that. But he's an amazing player that people often forget is one of the best players out there just because he's been doing so many different things.
There's no reason to miss.
Just an insane putt. Absolutely insane.
I would probably in a tournament throw a 360 here, if you can.
Yeah.
But a very
God, I've seen
controlled
Paul
one.
do a 360.
So just like push it a little left and let it just keep going right?
Yeah, you probably want to go like right over that first pine tree on the left and give it some nice juice turnover.
Just makes it look so smooth.
Wow. Dude, that's like the best shot you've ever thrown. Holy crap.
Just insane.
That's like 690 right there.
That was...
And now we get to see some of the ace runs. And that's not a run, that's an ace. That's crazy.
So the red basket out there, you just
Yeah.
want to go 15 feet off the ground, something that you're not really going to flex, but just go right over that basket and let
Okay.
it go down, because it kind of drops off down there. You want to get into that bowl and then throw overstable approach from there.
See, all Simon needed was just
Perfect.
guidance, and he just made the line work.
And the beauty is you get to throw that shot twice now.
Okay.
So you get
Just an insane ace. Simon's pumped.
A really genius play on this hole would be a roller because it's up the hill behind the basket, so you'll be like putting every single time. The's no trees except for the 2 trees down there, and it'll
right
roll
where
up.
that-
I can
that brown
guarantee you,
patch.
Paul would never do a roller.
It's a little too much turn or perfect.
It's a mid, so it should stay straight up the hill.
And look at that. There you have circle's edge putt, just what
In
you
the
wanted.
circle. And I would aim it right at the bucket and let it fade a little bit right, and then finish right at that cut.
And yeah, you just know that that's not a line that Simon would ever do, but it's just so calculated and so smooth that there's very little room for risk. Like, you obviously have to make the shot work, but if you can do it, then there's very little even par chance. Like, you're probably gonna get that birdie.
You want it to turn, I would almost aim at the left tree and let it just turn right the whole way.
Aim at the left tree.
It's gonna push back down the hill when it hits the ground.
I've noticed you're the king at comeback putts somehow.
Yes.
Less time and you just always make it.
Okay.
Is it like a mindset?
Well, typically like something like that, where you just missed,
Yeah.
I would be like, I didn't do anything wrong. It was a millimeter low. So just do the same thing. So you didn't make a mistake. It was just, you know,
Make no mistakes.
sometimes it's a little wind drop and now you got a different wind. So you're like, all right, don't think about that. Don't change anything. Sometimes you make them and they just don't go in.
I think that's something that so many players get wrong too. Like, every time in a tournament when I miss a putt, I'm questioning myself so much, when in all reality it probably was just aiming a little bit low, and if you just have the same exact putt with a little bit higher angle, a little bit more nose up, then you'll get the rebound. And I know that I've 3-putted when I could have easily just had 2-putt, and it's all just a mental thing that Paul has nailed down. An amazing run.
How do you avoid that?
Well, you said it right before you putted it. You said tailwind putt. He knew what to do. He said tailwind putt, knowing it's gonna drop,
I just gotta listen to myself.
and you just put it low.
I definitely love that sequence right there. It's just the same as before. Like, if you know what the wind's going to do, if you know what the line's going to do, then try to predict, even if it feels out of sorts with what your putting stroke is. If you feel the wind on a tailwind, make sure you aim higher. And I know that so many times people will just go with their intuition instead of actually looking at the wind and what it's going to do. So again, I hate to say it, but Paul knows what's up.
The really dumb shot would be a sky roll.
Let's run. It might be a little too much hyzer, but we'll find out. Nope, perfect. Pinned.
And this is just another excellent example of where you don't even really think about disc golf as like that strategic. Like, you just play what's most comfortable for you. And a lot of times there's a line that's way easier than what you're trying, and you don't need to throw a 13 speed. You can just throw the line that will go straight and then hyzer out at the very end, because that's what you need for that hole, and it's not actually something that requires an amazing amount of distance. So just figuring out like why that is, and not going to your default, actually like learning new shot shapes, is crucial to getting better. And then the most amazing ace I've seen in a while, thumber ace from Paul. He's stoked.
Here. This is forward.
If there's cameras on you, there's no way you leave this under the basket height. So you have to pass the basket.
So soft
height.
flex or hyzer or straight?
Soft flex.
Okay.
I love this interaction. You don't think about it when you're watching Jomez, like, are they running putts they wouldn't normally if they were on chase card? But that's absolutely a thing. Like, you don't want to be that boring player that doesn't even do that good because they didn't run it. Like, there's so many reasons why it's beneficial to just go for it on lead card, because you have all these people watching you that want to buy your stuff and want to support you if you're making crazy shots. And if you're being filmed, you're also going to potentially be worse at putting if you were just on some random card. So I love this little tidbit.
Easy.
Fail. And then again, one of the sickest aces ever.
Is she in?
Just easy.
Let's go!
Every shot I had to put everything I had into it.
And we ended it there. This is so just bizarre. Like you don't think about Paul ever throwing sky rollers or any crazy shot like that. And when you see him after a day's round of playing that, he's exhausted, and it shows you just how hard Simon works on his crazy shots and why he's injured, because it's such high intensity and requires so much thought, versus Paul, where he still has lots of thought, but the line is so conservative and so predictable that there's a lot less randomness that is involved. But with Simon's shot, it's just go as hard as you can and figure out some crazy line. And obviously you're going to be exhausted with that. So with that wraps up my video. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Wild Runs, signing out. Peace.